Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the EmpowerView. My guest today is Miss Misty Moon with the local chapter of our Red Cross. Welcome, Misty. How are you today?
I'm really well. How are you?
Doing great. Tell me a little bit about what our local chapter of the Red Cross means. I know you've tried to kind of explain this to me before, but how it's kind of divvied up and how it crosses states and what have you. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I cover 14 counties in central west Alabama. So our state is divided into 4 different areas, but we also are with Mississippi. So we're the Alabama-Mississippi region.
Okay, and you called it the Central West Alabama region, something like that?
West, because I have Coleman and it kind of goes over and down. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you actually did a talk in a meeting I was in this week that was fascinating, and people don't necessarily realize what all the Red Cross does. So you touched on 5 areas. See, I paid attention because I remember it was 5 areas. So can you kind of top line what those 5 areas are?
Yeah, but if you'll indulge me before getting to that,
Sure.
to mention our mission, because we don't do anything without our mission, right? And so it's to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. And then, like you mentioned, we have 5 lines of service. Most people know of Red Cross as being disaster and blood, so they get those 2. But then we also have 3 other militaries to service to armed forces. That's actually how we started. And then we do training services to make sure that everyone is ready and prepared to save a life when they need to. And then international services.
Very nice. And you, if I understand correctly, you don't work across all 5 of those. You kind of focus on a couple. Is that right?
Well, actually, we have people that focus on all of them. I work with elected officials, media, do some fundraising, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So what, from your perspective, people listening to this, paying attention to this, what's the biggest needs you have, what you'd like to see people do, kind of what's your main goal for your role with the Red Cross?
Depends on what day you ask. It could be that we need blood or that we need money or whatever. We always want your time, your blood, and your money. But one goal that I have, a major goal, is just to get information out there about the Red Cross, because so many people, when I meet with them for lunch, coffee, whatever, they don't really know anything except blood and disaster. And even under those lines of service, they really don't know what we do. So I'm just trying to get the word out there about what the Red Cross does.
And help a little bit with that, because I know there's a couple of things you talked about this week that maybe people aren't aware of, such as the smoke detector program that you have.
Yeah, the home fire campaign. So we want to make sure that every home has a working smoke alarm, because if you do, that cuts your chances of death in half. So we go door to door canvassing, seeing if people do have those. If not, we will install those. We give education about an escape plan, about how to get out in the God forbid chance that you have a home fire. So that's one initiative that we have. Yeah.
And I know you talked about companies can help you out, individuals too, with organizing a blood drive. And I had to share the stat you talked about this week in terms of only 1/3 of people can even give blood. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty surprising. I mean, if you're taking certain medications, if you've been out of the country, if you're on antibiotics, if you don't weigh enough, lots of various reasons why you may not be able to donate. Yeah, but out of the 1/3 of people who can, only 1/3 actually do. So I mentioned when I presented too that our state does not provide enough blood. We don't have enough people donating to meet our demand. So we have to borrow from other states. And like I said, then I'm competitive. We got to get this thing going. We meet our needs.
Yeah, we need to do better with that. And I know, do you have any kind of blood drives scheduled, anything like that upcoming?
Oh yeah, we have them all the time. So if you just go to redcrossblood.org, you can find them all. You put in your zip code and it'll give you a list.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know you have some other interests outside of Red Cross that you and I have kind of chatted about, things you're looking at. You want to talk a little bit about that and kind of some personal goals you may have?
Yeah, thanks. So I'm certified to give the Myers-Briggs personality assessment. So I'm working with you personally on that to help me get that going. It's such a benefit to companies. For instance, if your staff aren't getting along or there's some issue that maybe you're having a lot of turnover or whatever, it's such a great gift to be able to give your people that assessment and see kind of what's going on, and what personalities get along better and why and how to deal with certain personalities. So yeah, I love that. Thanks for that. One thing though, tying back to Red Cross that I'm so thankful for you about is you're helping us with a strategic plan.
Yes.
We have all these good ideas. We have 16 amazing board members who have so much talent and ideas, like I said, resources, but we all kind of, we spin our wheels. We don't really, it's like by the end of the fiscal year, we're thinking, wow, we didn't really do much, but we had all these great plans and ideas. So you are generously helping us out by helping us come up with a strategic plan. And I'm super excited about that.
Awesome.
You're the best.
And one of the things, and I'm looking forward to that too, anytime you can contribute to something that has a lasting impact, it's always something I like to try to kind of gravitate to if I can. And one of the things on your Myers-Briggs things that's fascinating to me is we're going to need to work with you on really getting a clarified marketing message that makes you stand out. And I think we have a lot to work with your personality. And I know that you've also got a passion for working with women-owned businesses and that sort of thing. So I think there's a lot we can do there to really give you a program that's going to help you stand out when you get ready to move forward with that coming down the road.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you.
Misty, one thing that's always fascinating about you, you got a lot of stuff going on. You have 2 daughters, right? They're in all kind of stuff. What's something you can tell people that may know you, may see you in and around town that they may not know about you?
Well, I'm pretty much an open book, so I'm not sure.
That's kind of true in a way.
The one thing I mentioned at the meeting, though, I guess, is I coached basketball in Australia and was attacked by an emu. I mean,
yeah, that was a good one. I have to say that's one like one of the best don't know about me stories I've ever heard about. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then before we wind up here, I want you to talk a little bit about the upcoming virtual 5K you have with the Red.
Yes, so we have the Touch of Red virtual run. So we typically have the Food and Wine Committee, Food and Wine Festival here in Tuscaloosa. We haven't been able to have that because of COVID. We also have our gala in Birmingham. So those are 2 fundraising events that we're missing out on. So to hopefully replace that income, we are doing the Touch of Red virtual run. If you will go to redcross.org/Touch of Red, you can sign up, and it's anytime between June 1st to the 13th. You can run on your own, you can run with a group. What's fun about this though is it's our region against other regions. So it's Central West Alabama against like Northern Alabama and Southern Mississippi and all. So we have to make this good. I'm competitive, as I've mentioned. Yeah, if you guys can sign up, it's $40 to join. You get a t-shirt and some other goodies. It'll be mailed to your home. You can do it anytime during that 2 weeks. We even have an option for an armchair. So if you don't want to run, you don't want to walk, you have to pay $5 extra to keep the secret that you're not running. We say it's $45, but you can just pay that and not run or not walk or not do anything. It's the armchair event.
Pretty much takes any excuse away for anybody not to contribute. And I know another stat that I didn't know about the Red Cross is, as you were talking through that I was reminded of, is that 90% of your donations go straight to the work.
Yes, and the national average for nonprofits is 75 cents. So,
yeah, so that's great.
Definitely something we're proud of. It's an organization that's full of integrity. So any dollar you give, I promise you, it's put to good use.
Go straight there. Well, I'll put the contact info under the video, and they'll sign up for the virtual run.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share before we sign off here?
Jean, I appreciate you. Since I met you last August, you have been an incredible asset in my life. In the little things, and what we were talking about before we did this interview, just the basic stuff. You're always able to give good words of wisdom and advice, and I appreciate that. You really care. I love that.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for the work you do. And that'll wind up this issue of EmpowerView. I know you got a busy day ahead of you, so thank you for being with us.
Thank you, guys.